TV. I was like, totally interested, please. Like the way I jumped on it. Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a story time, and I will be telling you guys the story of how I started from scratch, from ground zero in Germany, and what my experience has been like. But before we go into it, you guys already know, if you're not subscribed, click that subscribe button and subscribe. If you keep coming back and you're not subscribed, you know you like this stuff, you like this girl here, so just subscribe, okay? First of all, I cannot believe it's been over 2 years I moved to Germany. I moved to Germany in, I think, March. Yeah, I moved to Germany in March of 2019. And before I moved to Germany, I was living in Indonesia. So I moved from Indonesia to Germany. And to give context, before I go into this story about how I started from scratch in Germany and how I was rejected at restaurants for waitressing jobs, let me give you guys like a background so that you can understand where I'm coming from. So before moving to Germany, I had my bachelor degree. I worked in human resource management and I worked in e-commerce and marketing before moving to Germany. So with all this qualifications and work experience, I was coming to Germany with so much boldness. And also I had already learned German up to B1 level. So the first few months I arrived in Germany, I was applying for jobs like working student positions. If you don't know, in Germany there are working students and there's internships. So working student position is like you're working part-time. As an international student, you are not allowed to work more than 120 days in a year, 120 full days in a year, and 240 half days in a year. But internships, it could be compulsory internships or voluntary internships, and most internships are usually maybe for 3 months or 6 months or 2 months, depending on if it's compulsory for your studies or if it's voluntary. I was looking for working student positions because I wanted to work part-time, and I thought, this is me coming with so much with so much arrogance and ignorance. Wow. I was like, yes, of course I'm gonna get a job. I'm very experienced. I've worked in the engineering industry, in human resource management. I've worked in e-commerce, marketing, like of course they will employ me. Wow. So wrong. I was so wrong. So I was applying for jobs initially with confidence. Like I got a couple of interviews. Initially I would get like 1 or 2 interviews off and on, but then I would get so many rejections. After like 3 months of consistent rejections, I started to ask myself, I was like,
are you sure you got the skills? Are you sure you are even as intelligent and smart?
You guys know, anybody that applies for jobs, you guys know that stuff messes with your head, messes with your self-esteem. I really started to question myself. I was like, how come I cannot get any job I cannot get any working student position? Everybody was rejecting me. I didn't know what I was doing wrong, and I wasn't getting any concrete feedback on what the problem was exactly. 4 or 5 months after moving to Germany, I still had no job. I was just going to classes, and then the first semester holiday was fast approaching. The semester holiday is usually 2 months, and I told myself, I was like, wow, am I gonna go into this holiday with no job, just like sitting at home, and then I'm just spending money, but money is not coming in? I started to panic at this point. Just started to apply now for random jobs, because before I was more specific in the kinds of jobs I was looking for, right? But this time I started to expand. I was like, okay, let me just apply for random jobs. Maybe it will be possible for me to get something. But still, did not work. I was still getting rejections. Then I applied as a hotel receptionist, and I was asked to come for an interview, and then maybe the person was just, I don't know, the person just liked my personality, and the person was like, okay, your German is still very shaky. It's not good enough for you to work on the front desk. However, I will give you a month to kind of like shadow somebody and see how the job is done. And in that month, you need to improve your German. And then after the 1 month, we can see what happens. So I was going like 2 times a week or so after classes to this hotel to kind of like shadow the person in front. Like I would sit there with the receptionist. I would try to answer the calls in German. Wow, it was so difficult for me. Now I think about it, my German was really not it was not good at that time, honestly, it wasn't. After spending I would do a shift of maybe 3-4 hours there, And after that, I usually have this like brain crushing headache because like my brain, I was really forcing myself to speak the German. I was doing this while it was time to write exams. So by the time I was writing my exams, while at this hotel, I met another student who was at that hotel. And he told me that, why am I stressing myself here? Like I can go and there are many English speaking restaurants in Berlin. I can go to a restaurant and get a job as a waitress. And I was like, why didn't I think about this? It's so strange that I didn't think about this before. But then I was like, actually, that's a good idea. Let me go to restaurants and apply for waitressing jobs. My brothers and sisters, I went to restaurants in Berlin and I was asking them, I was even speaking German. Hi, I'm a student. I said it in German. I was like, hi, I'm a student. I'm looking for a position as a waitress. Are you guys looking for waitresses? The holiday is coming up and I would like to work as a waitress. And let me tell you guys, every single restaurant and bar that I went to, everyone asked me, do you have experience working as a waitress? And I was like, no, but I can learn. I'm a very fast learner. Because I wasn't expecting that they would just reject me. And they were like, sorry, no, we need people that have waitressing experience, waitressing in the restaurant or bar. I continued going to restaurants. But as every restaurant kept rejecting me, I was like, but how hard can it be? I mean, no shade to any waitress or anything, but I mean, first of all, how hard can it be to be a waitress? You can learn. That's the point. Like every single job in this world, you start from somewhere. Nobody is born with experience in something. So if every single place is telling you, oh, sorry, we need the experience, we need the experience. The people with no experience, where are they going to get the experience from? As the bars and restaurants were rejecting me, then I decided to try my hands at retail fashion, like all these fashion stores and everything. I think somebody mentioned it. I don't know how I came up with the idea. So I just started walking into shops and asking them, hey, you guys, I'm a student. The semester holiday is fast approaching. Are you guys looking for people to work in the shop? I was dropping my CV in different places. Some people were like, yeah, just drop your CV. I'm sure many of them trashed it. But then I went to one particular shop and I told the guy at the counter, I was like, yeah, I'm looking for a job. If you guys are looking for people, he was like, do you speak German? I said, yeah, I can make very basic conversation, but I'm improving. So the guy was like, okay, give me your CV. I will give it to maybe the shop manager or something. And I honestly did not believe, I didn't believe this person because I hadn't heard back from many people that had been submitting my CV. So I was like, okay, thank you. You have to understand, I was doing this alongside going to the hotel to do the shadowing of somebody where I was not getting paid. I was just shadowing somebody for shadowing sake and hoping that it will lead to a job. And at this time, I was also writing my exams. So I was still going to restaurants and bars too because I didn't want to give up. I mean, I'm Nigerian, we don't just give up like that. So I was at the same time, all this, going to restaurants to drop my CV, going to bars, going to shops. Last week of my exam or something like that, then I got a call from one of the shops that actually dropped my CV, and I was so shocked. I was like, "Ow, this guy actually gave my CV to the manager." Wow, I was so happy. And then by that time, of course, my German was already better than how it was when I first moved. And then I had the conversation in the beginning in German. I think, if I remember clearly, I had the conversation in German with the person, and he was like, "Yeah, if you want to come to the shop for a trial day." Seems like this trial day thing, it's a common thing for certain types of jobs in Germany. So I went for the trial day. Just a few days later, I got an offer from that shop to start working. It was minimum wage. It wasn't like the most amazing pay, but I was at this point so happy and grateful that somebody gave me a job, like somebody wanted to pay me to do something in this Germany. I was so grateful. I was so happy. You guys cannot understand. And it came in the nick of time. At this point, I was already 6 months in Germany, right? So it came in the nick of time just when I wrote my last exam. I was supposed to start, I started the job 1 day or 2 days after I wrote my last exam. So I signed the contract. I was very, very happy anyway. I started the job, and yeah, after the initial gratefulness and thankfulness, then the reality kicked in. This job was so exhausting, you guys. Lucky for me, I was already on semester holiday at that time, and I had never done anything this strenuous, like physically strenuous in my life. So I was standing. If I had a 6-hour shift, I would be on my feet the whole 6 hours. and I had never done anything like this before. I was so exhausted every single day. And at the same time, during the semester break, I was taking my B2 German classes to improve my German. So honestly, I don't know how I survived this time. Now I look back and it's just like, I'm so thankful for how far everything has evolved up until this point. I'm so grateful and thankful, because if I say the moving to Germany is not challenging, starting your life from scratch is, if I say it's not challenging, I'm absolutely lying. It is really challenging. I used to have like one day off during the week, one day and Sunday, so 2 days off during the week, but you would have to work on Saturdays too. So maybe in a month you would have just one Saturday free, and every other Saturday you would have to work. So if you're trying to have a life, you know this is very difficult, because people are free on weekends and that's when you can hang out. It was a bit difficult to kind of hang out with people. I was even always exhausted anyway, so like I didn't really want to hang out. I just wanted to, like, anytime I had, sleep and just like watch Netflix. Anyway, so I did this for 2 months, and before the second month was over, I started to tell myself, I was like, first of all, there is no way I can go into the next semester still doing this job, because it's so physically exhausting, and the schedule is not really that flexible. So, and my school, like, the timetable changes every week. I could not see how I could fit that kind of job into my schedule. So I was already like, oh my god, how am I going to do this? I finally got a job, but then now I have to start looking for again. What am I going to do? As I was still in this headspace, somebody in my university that works in a company, in a software company, sent a message that, oh, her company is looking for working students who are willing to work part-time or whatever. If you're interested, let me know, send your CV. I was like, totally interested, please. Like, the way I jumped on it, the way I like revamped my CV, edited, you know, the way I settled down to write that cover letter with immediate effect and alacrity. I sent my CV, I sent a cover letter, I reached out to the girl, I was like, I'm interested in working in your company, maybe you can refer me. So in my cover letter, I also stated that this is the person that referred me and everything. I did a phone interview first, and then afterwards, I did an in-person interview. You guys, when I went to the office for the interview, wow, I was like, this office is so fine. You guys know, like, after 6 months of like really not even being able to get a waitressing job, and then now I'm invited for an interview in a very nice office software company kind of thing. It was like, I didn't know that this is how this girl is rolling. This girl is be balling. Everything was looking so nice and shiny to me. So I went for the interview, and then I think a week later I got the confirmation that I got the job. So anyway, I started the job. It was very nice, wonderful team I worked with, wonderful people. And it's been, I don't want to go into too much detail after that. It's been one wonderful job to the next. I think this first job was kind of my breakthrough into the German work market, because after that I've moved to a different company, and even in that company I've moved to a different team. So I would say the first job was the really most difficult one for me to get, but once I got my foot in, it was like everything became easier. After that, of course, you still need to put in the work for applying. You still have to get some rejections. So anyway, why am I telling you this story? I'm telling you this story to tell you that I have gone through the process of starting my life from scratch in Germany, and I made so many like mistakes along the way. Even like my mindset has changed and everything, which is why you guys know I have to promote my 5-week coaching program. If you are moving to Germany and you don't want to go through all the stress that I went through, you want to learn from me, you want to learn from my experience, because I am experienced. You want to learn from my experience, so visit my website and sign up for a free 30 minutes consultation on my website for my coaching program. I'm going to leave it in the description box below, and I'm going to leave it on the screen. Thank you very much if you watched till this point. Thank you very much for watching my story time, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.